Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope everything is going great. If you're new here, I'm Mels and this is the place where we talk all things life and all things beauty. Today we're actually going to review the new Mel Cosmetics palettes. Well, actually it's just one new one. It is the Gemini 2, but you know me. I actually got both the palettes because I've always wanted the first as well, and I guess it was limited edition because for a while it wasn't available, and now it's here in my hands and I got them both. Those are so beautiful in the other packaging as well, but Mel Cosmetics does packaging quite well, apart from the brunette palette, which I think is a bit plain. But yeah, today we're going to be seeing the swatches and overall playing with those two. So if you're interested, please keep watching and remember to leave a like, to subscribe and comment if you have already purchased those, and let me know your thoughts. The palettes actually came in these two cardboard sleeves. Let me set them up for you. These ones, not really impressed with those. The writing is holographic, I'm not sure if you can tell, but this is just cardboard. The true beauty is the packaging of the palettes themselves. I wish that those would be complementary, like in the Vida y Muerte palettes that they released, so that if you put them like this, they would form a picture. That would have been nice, but they didn't, and anyways, they look very good. And I must say, the outer packaging really truly represents what's inside each of these palettes. So just by grabbing them, I know that Gemini will be more greens and more yellowy tones, while Gemini 2 will have to be more rose toned. But without further ado, let's get these open. I have already swatched them and I will insert these swatches for you to see right here. Overall, they are two very different palettes. The only part that is similar is the greens, but the Gemini 2 is actually a bit darker, a bit more edgier. And these are open right here. I've already watched a few reviews because, guys, this package arrived so late. I literally bought this when it launched, which I think it was the 1st of April or the 2nd, can't remember really well. I paid for express shipping and it arrived at the start of May. So it took a whole month for it to reach me. And I know it's not Mel Cosmetics team's fault because all my packages are coming really late these days. But they were really supportive and kind enough to refund me the shipping costs, the express delivery shipping costs, and they followed me throughout the whole thing, updating me on where the package was and giving me a few tracking links instead of just one. And yeah, so it came home safely. These aren't broken, I'm happy for it, but there's a tons of video out there already on these. And from what I gathered, the feedback about these palettes is good. So the formulation in these palettes is the good Mel Cosmetics formulation. However, people are not really vibing with them because they are quite grungy, quite dark tones. And I must say, I think I love these palettes because of these tones, so that's why I grabbed them. That's why I grabbed them both. Gemini 1, when this came out, I feel like this was a really innovative palette. Not a lot of greens out there on the market. This has always captured me, and this is the reason why I bought it as soon as it came back. But I'm happy it has a sister now because I also love red tones, and if you watched a few of my other videos, you know now. These reds and dark plummy burgundies are what I live for. I also thought, why not? I have the 27 Mel Cosmetics palette here, and why not compare a few shades? Of course, these tones don't have anything to do with the Gemini 1 palette, but we can of course compare them to Gemini 2 because I've seen a few shades that might actually be similar. So let's watch them live. I have the two palettes open right here on my desk. I'm trying to see which shades look similar. First of all, I would say Naked Sleep in the 27 palette, which is this shade here, and Ladylike from the Gemini 2, even though it seems a bit more rosy. Yes, this is definitely a bit more rose toned, but I mean the effect on the lid would be the same. This one, Nip Slip from the 27, putting this right here, and then I can compare this to Sweetheart, which again looks like there's a bit more rose in it. Definitely more rose here. Can't say anything about these actually. They don't think they would have the same effect. But which other ones? I think Downtown from 27. I'm putting this here. Downtown and Gemelas, which seems deeper though. Yes, definitely deeper, so not at all the same. But the shimmer though, so in here in the 27 palette, Crime Fighter is a bronzy shade, and in Gemini 2 there's Schmood, which is a bronzy shade, so let's see those. I don't really love the formulation of this Crime Fighter. As you can see, it's crumbling everywhere. But this Schmood shade in Gemini 2 was much better, and I think this will be darker as well. Yeah, can already tell there's actually a lot of difference between those two. Let's try with the deeper shades. So let's try Moonchild, which is basically the shade I use more in this palette because I really like this brown. And then we have LX Queen from Gemini 2. I need to swatch this again because definitely different, a more plummy, a bit more cool toned as well. So overall you can see on my hand the different swatches, and yeah, I wouldn't say there's similar shades or dupes in these two palettes, so that's good. I want to use this palette more. I should use this palette more. But without further ado, let's jump into actually trying them on. I will be doing one eye with Gemini 1 and one eye with Gemini 2. And yeah, I'm excited to start playing. By the way, my finger is a bit stained. This one from that LX Queen shade, which is understandable because of the type of tones we are dealing with here. But that's when you buy these reddish shades, you know that you're going to have to deal with this. I came a little closer so that you can see a tiny bit better. I hadn't noticed until now, but there's works being done here in Dubai. When the hot weather comes in, a lot of work that gets done, you know, on the streets. It gets done during the evening because the temperatures are lower. But I just noticed that it started, and I apologize if it caused any inconvenience. Unfortunately, we will have to deal with it. So where do we want to start? Let's start with Gemini 2. All my brushes are stained because I've used pink tone shades, but these are clean, like they have no pigment on them, so it will not influence the overall tones. And okay, so I am doing one eye. Which eye do I want to do? I want to do the good eye, which is this one. This one is the bad eye. So good eye, new palette. I want to do a smoky because this palette tends itself very well for smoky eyes, and I've always wanted to play with that LX Queen shade since I got it, which is this one here. This dark plummy burgundy tone. So first we are going to put something in the crease. I will use Sweetheart in the crease, which is this tone here. I saw not wanting to disrupt the... Oh, this is very pigmented. Okay, I didn't expect this. I was saying I don't want to mess with the rose print on the shades, but there's nothing I can do. You know what's funny? I never cared about the prints on eyeshadow palettes, but this one is so pretty, and the fact that it's not always the same, so it's one rose, two roses, and it alternates. It's very cute. But yeah, this is the starting shade. Already I can say the starting, like, this is the third shade in the palette, which is supposed to be one of the palest, and it's already deep on me. I will bring Bella. Oh, and just as well, this picked up a lot of powder. There's a lot of powder in the pan, but I don't care about fallout that much. So let's proceed with Bella. No, maybe it's too peach. Let's do Ladylike instead. And I will use this to blend the previous shade. No, this is not paler than the other one. Okay, I thought this was a bit more subdued, but it's not actually. So with Mel Cosmetics, I feel like most of the time the shades you see in the palette are always deeper on the eyes, and that is true for me for the 27 palette as well. Like, the palest shade on it, it's too dark for me. But okay, I guess this is fine for this type of palette, because this is supposed to be grungier. Mel Cosmetics is a very grungy brand overall, and differs from the other ones because of it. I feel like the 27 could have had a few more pale shades. I'm intensifying that first shade I used, Sweetheart, here, because I'm going to build up a lot of darkness on the crease itself, and I want it to blend really nicely into another color. It's so weird, by the way, doing only one eye. My instinct is to go over on this as well, but not today. My boyfriend will be looking at me walking with two different eye shades. I love these shades on me, by the way. I love how these are so complementary for my face, but I think these tones look good on everybody, and that certainly is the reason why there's a ton of them coming out with the new palettes. I'm going to actually grab Lovesick, which is the reddish shade here. Lovesick is a beautiful name for this shade. Very on point, very well themed. And what do I want to do with this? Let's put this in the other corner. Okay, well, I expected this to be a lot more red. Turns out Lovesick is actually the kind of shade that I was envisioning the other one to be. So the LX Queen, I thought that LX Queen would be the color that Sweetheart turned out to be. That's not the case, so I'm a bit worried about LX Queen now. I think I should stick with Lovesick all over the lid and then use LX Queen to create some depth, because this is the tone I was looking for, and if LX Queen is deeper than this, I don't want to do a black smoky. So I want to do a burgundy type of smoky. Also, I'm not sure I will use the shimmers. There's actually only two shimmers in the palette. One is green and the other one is bronze. But I feel like these palettes are so not focused on the shimmers because there's just two, that I don't want to use those. I also noticed whilst watching, the shimmers aren't the typical Melt Cosmetics formula that crumbles away, so they seem to be the good formula. And I'm not going to test them today, but I will definitely be using them in other looks with these palettes. And I'm just picking up the brush I use for the transition shade, which should have that shades on it as well. And I'm blending the edges of Lovesick so that they melt into each other. Haha, you see what I did there? These burgundies are usually patchy, so I'm actually quite happy with the way they are performing. Like, I'm able to blend this without any major lines showing. I like this. I like this. It makes me feel like a bad bit. It's so weird how different types of makeup make you feel different. Like, they actually give you I feel like they give you a character boost of some sort. Like, when I wear pink, I'm more girly and shy, and when I wear something like this, I always have my eyeshadow stick to this area, always. When I wear these shades, I'm always a bit more aggressive. Like, I take life more aggressively. It's the same thing as wearing a red lip, I feel like. And this is what I love about makeup. I love the fact that it allows me to be the person that I need to be. I love the confidence, because I'm normally not a very confident person. This will be it for my lid. Why not pick a brush though? And let's clean this with the Sigma switch. And actually go into Smooth, which is the only reddish shimmer, and I will use this here. Oh, that's very dark. It has a blackened base. I feel like one of the major critiques people had about this palette was the lack of pale shades. I feel like it would have a completely different vibe if it did, but I'm seeing how maybe a shimmer that would have been more rosy and more pale would have been nice, you know, for the inner corner. Like here, this Smooth didn't add any luminosity to my eye, but it's fine. Let's proceed to the lower lash line. For the lower lash line, what do I want to do? I want to see how these greens complement the burgundies. So I will actually be using Almond Eyes, and then I will deepen it with LX Queen at the outer corner and see the mix between green and burgundy, because they are selling this with this theme. This is already much darker than it is on the pan. Can you see this? Look how dark this is, and compare this with this. Yeah, they don't look like the same shade, but this is always the thing with melt. I applied this green shade. Now that these are together, these Lovesick and Almond Eyes, I feel like I can see the theme. It looks like a rose, doesn't it? Like a red rose with its green stem. Most likely like a withered rose theme for the last part of this palette, which I really like. And then I will use LX Queen in the other corner to hopefully tie this with the upper part of the look. These are already so dark. Yeah, this looks black almost on me, so I'm glad I didn't put it on my lid. And I'm also taking LX Queen and placing this above where I would put my eyeliner. So almost drawing an eyeliner with LX Queen, since it's so dark. And why not? Let's try doing a wing with this. This shade is giving me some fallout, by the way. I haven't applied concealer because I thought if I add some fallout with this, it would be very, very hard to cover up. So it seems like I made a good decision. You know what? Just for giggles, just to have fun, I'm going to take one green from the Gemini one. Yes, I'm going to take Leo OG here. And I'm going to use this to blend out the deep, deep green shade I used on my lower lid. Because this is probably the shade I was hoping this would be. And it is. Seems like it is. Yes. Of course, this shade is not from the Gemini 2, so don't consider it if you're watching this to understand if you want that palette. But they work really well together, so that's for sure. Like, they have similar tones. And I will put on some mascara and I will be back. So this is the finished look for the first eye. I really like how it came out. It's very sultry, very grungy. It makes me feel like a bad bish. And I like this. I will add some concealer at the end. But yeah, very happy with this. But let's also play with the other one. By the way, I added a bit of a black pencil right along the lash line, but that's it. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do with this. As always, we will wing it, but I'm guessing I will first of all start with Luna, since here we have a very pale shade that we can use for transitions. And let's see here if it goes darker. Actually not. So Luna doesn't go darker. It feels so good to be able to do the other eye, by the way. It looks weird with one eye on and the other not. But yeah, Luna is actually quite pale, a bit yellow, but it's a good base. And this is what I feel like people were criticizing about the other palette. The lack of these type of shades that set the mood, if you know what I mean. But I mean, this one sets the mood just fine, so I don't know. Yeah, so I did a full matte look here. I want to do a full matte look here as well. Still want to keep a cohesiveness to them. And I will go into Mochi, which is a yellowy type of green, and I will use it as a transition. It's so weird to be able to use this palette after so many years wanting to play with it. It's so weird. Like, something you've always admired from afar, and then one day you have it in your hands. I know it's just makeup, by the way. Don't lecture me. It's just makeup, but it's what I like. This palette actually has the same formula as when it first was released. So they haven't changed anything, they haven't reformulated. I feel like here in this spot, it turned a bit darker. I'm not sure to what it's clinging, but okay, I guess. Nothing that would break the look or make it feel patchy. Also because this is just the base shade we are using, but just wanted to note this. Then we're going in with Leo, which is the darkest green in the palette. And I'm placing this all over my lid. This isn't as pigmented as the shade, the lowered shade in the Gemini 2 palette, so I'm having to dip into the pan a few times, but it's getting there. This doesn't have any fallout, by the way. I feel like these shades are a bit more difficult to work with, and like here, this patch is still here. There's a tiny bit of patchiness here around the other corner. I will cover it up, but I'm guessing these type of shades are very, very hard to formulate, and like instantly, haven't played with the Gemini 2 before this, I can instantly tell that the greens here are much smoother and easier to work with than these ones. And it might just be that Gemini 2 is a new palette, so it supposedly should be better in quality than something they elaborated some time ago. But maybe, I feel like they should have maybe tweaked the quality of this palette as well before re-promoting it again with the new release. I mean, why not? You're doing Gemini 2, why not give it a tune-up? See this patch here? It's very dark, and I haven't applied anything dark. I have used the same two shades and they are just bunching up together and creating this weird color. So not really sure what to do here. I probably will use Cupcake. Cupcake is the brown here. Let's try adding a brown on the other edge to create some depth so that we can mask that thing, whatever it is. Looks like it's working. Yeah, I feel like now it looks like it was done on purpose. Yeah, it looks like it was done on purpose. It wasn't. It wasn't. So actually a bit disappointed by this. I cannot really remember if this was something that other people said in their reviews for this palette. It's been so long since this was released and I can't remember. But I'm just trying to make this patch here seem intentional. But I think the upper lid is done, so we can definitely move below. Below I want to do, what do I want to do? I'm going to do something brownish, so I'm going to grab Cupcake again and place it here. I don't want to do the lower lash line very light because I want it to match the tone of this one as well. So Cupcake, and then we're going to blend it with Polka Dot, which is the other lighter brown shade in the palette. Grabbing Polka Dot now and placing this below Cupcake. I remember when this palette was revealed that they were slowly revealing the shades on Instagram. Were you there when that happened? That was really cool. Like every shade they put out, I was more and more excited about the palette. But then I learned, oh, it's, how much is it, like $52 or 56? Can't remember. And then it wasn't available. I was living in Italy. I would never have the chance to get it. My hopes and dreams were shattered. I'm placing Gemini, which is the gold shimmer, here in the inner corner. This is actually bright, so it's giving a bit of lightness to the look. Gemini is very flaky. Like this looks like the usual Cosmetics formula. I'm creating a wing with Bunny, which is the black, and I must say I'm very impressed by how pigmented this is. This is a very good shadow for eyeliner. I feel like there's a lot of fallout now on my eyes. These greens are very fallouty, so eyes first with this look, but I'm going to clean this up and I will get back to you. Guys, so this is the finished look, or should I say the finished looks. And I think my impressions are pretty clear on these palettes, but just to reiterate, I really like the new Gemini 2. It's very sultry, it's very grungy. If you don't like deep dark shades, this is not going to be for you, because even the lightest shades are very dark on the eyes, even though they look paler in the pan. But overall, the quality is good, the formula is good, mattes are very easy to blend, the shimmers are very smooth, and overall really impressed by this. For the Gemini palette, the story is a bit different. I feel like I had some trouble with these shades here, and they were a bit patchy, a bit hard to blend, which is something that I would have expected it more from the burgundy tones in the Gemini 2 than in the green in the Gemini palette. But I'm still going to use this. I feel like I have enough makeup knowledge to know how to make it work, but I understand how somebody who is not as experienced with makeup may have some trouble with this. Overall, I feel like they should have reformulated this as well. In general, I am happy with my purchase. I am happy with the customer service I received and happy to have these added to my collection. I really love grungy tones, so I feel like I will make use of these. And yeah, I hope this was useful to you. I know there's a lot of reviews out right now, but you know, living in Dubai, it becomes really hard to reach for makeup without waiting for months. Yeah, if you like the review, please remember to comment, to like and subscribe. It takes really, literally a few seconds of your time. If you want to chat with me, just type in a comment, let me know what you think about these two palettes, if you will be buying them, if you bought them, what are your thoughts. And I will end the video here. It's actually very late, it's almost 8 p.m. and my stomach is already grumbling and telling me I need to eat something. I didn't even snack today, which is weird. And so I will leave you. I will see you in the next video though, hopefully, if you subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.